I remember seeing you in the 80s and 90s, and there was an air of obnoxiousness about you, both on stage and off stage. You actually put out this air of, I really want to upset you. Why was that? Was that a turn-on for you, or was it a deliberate strategy?
Well, no, I think it was a deliberate strategy. It was just a provocative, challenging, pissing off the audience, unsettling the audience. That sort of style of comedy was something that really interested me, and I thought that it would get me a big audience. Unfortunately, it didn't.
We've got footage here of your wedding day, which is really sweet, and it's obviously a particularly emotional day for you.
Yeah, it was an emotional day. You know, I got married at 39. I got married, and it was an emotional moment. I met a lovely girl, and she was a non-Jewish girl, and she converted for me, and we've been together for 12 years. And generally, as an entertainer, you don't really expect that you're going to have a happily married life, or even find somebody that's prepared to put up with you, particularly an extremist like myself.
Are you an extremist in all things? I think so. In your private life as well?
I think so, yeah. And people see me as aggressive. Maybe it is, but I think that art imitates life, and that's what I like to do. I like to carry my art into my life, and a lot of people find that objectionable. But again, it does create a lot of situations that are memorable and beyond the reality, beyond just the simple reality. That's where I want to go. I want to go somewhere, and the reasons for that, Mr. Psychotherapist, is I don't really know. I don't actually know. I should be lying on a couch here, really. I don't really know what the reasons are, but what I'm always looking for is hyper-reality.
How did Emma Jane, your wife, get behind this incredible front, this Austen Tayshus front to you?
She was very young, and I think she was swept away a little bit by the voice. I put the voice on. Hi, baby. Good to meet you. What's happening? Let's party.
I'm not sure the voice lasts for a whole marriage.
No, that's right.
Let's
get a little bit beneath the surface here.
Yes. Who did Emma Jane fall in love with?
That's what we're trying to do here, Mr. Psychiatrist. Who did she fall for? She fell for Sandy, and there is a Sandy somewhere. I mean, Sandy is... I think Sandy's a complex fellow, but he has his moments.
What are his moments like?
The real moments? Well, I think that the moments with the kids are probably the best moments, the most beautiful moments with the children. The moments that I have with my family, the private moments, are probably the most honest moments, particularly with the kids, because the kids will just tell you, "Oh, Dad, you look shithouse," you know.
What was your childhood like? Was it, the typical Aussie one with the Vegemite sandwiches and cricket in the street till Mum called you in for tea?
Not really. It was chopped liver sandwiches, and it was gefilte fish, and it was no sport. It was not. You go there and kick the ball around for a couple of hours. It was a serious childhood. It was about learning and reading and being studious. My father would just drive me from Hebrew teacher to Hebrew teacher. That was my childhood.
Your dad Isaac was your hero, wasn't he?
Yeah, pretty much so.
Why was
he
that?
Remains that. Well, because he was a sweet, gentle fellow who went through the Holocaust and remained a sweet, gentle fellow after people bashing him on the head with a rifle for 5 years. He remained a gentle, sweet, decent human being, and I think that's admirable in anybody.
What did he tell you about the Holocaust?
He didn't stop telling me about the Holocaust.
Yeah?
So I got it every day, yeah. So, which is, I suppose, very much a formative part of my life. The whole Holocaust experience was very formative, I think, in my humour too, because it's all part of all that sublimated stuff that I need to get out, and it's all that anger and angst and, all the scary shit in there. It's just, I would love to be able to express myself in a profound way on the stage, about all the issues that confront us as human beings, between birth and death, and that's what the Holocaust experience gave me.
How old were you? Can you remember when your father first started telling you about what he'd been through?
I think I'd been about 6 or 7. He would tell me stories of being on a train for 2 weeks without any clothes, water or food, and being frozen, virtually frozen, and the fact there was no compassion, there was no mercy, there was no caring. It was cultivated German people who had no mercy at all on the Jewish people, who couldn't care less whether they lived or died at any moment, and that was a frightening was a frightening thought for a 7-year-old, I think,
Yeah.
and continues to be a frightening thought for a 51-year-old.
Your father had been through the Holocaust. He'd had the extremes of every possible emotion. How could you possibly, as his son, compete with that? Did your emotions count for anything compared to that story?
Well, no, because I think I was a very good listener at that time. You know, I mean, maybe that's why he picked me. I don't know. I wasn't the anxious, psychopath that sits in front of you now. I was very interested in what he had to say. Because to me that was a world that I couldn't imagine. You know, as a 7-year-old, 5, 6, 7-year-old kid, I couldn't imagine. That's why I had to go to Poland. That's why I had to have a look. What was this like? That's why I've been obsessed with that whole period. How can a civilised nation treat people like this without any mercy whatsoever? Put 2,000 people every 3 hours into a gas chamber and burn them, and then put another 2,000 in, men, women and children, day in, day out. That's what happened at Auschwitz, day in, day out, killing 10,000 people a day. That's an extraordinary story. You went back to,
you went to Germany and Poland, and a documentary was made around your return journey. And this is some footage of Sandy going to Treblinka.
The Germans were very clever, and they managed to convince these people that nothing was going to happen here, and it was all going to be, a lot of fun. Everything designed so that the people would feel calm and would go easily into the gas chambers, and then they would be gassed and thrown in the ground virtually immediately. And what's going on there? What is going on? I'm just wondering what anybody does to deserve this.
You closed your eyes then, you could hardly watch that.
Yeah, well, that's particularly painful. Most of my family perished in that place. It was an extraordinary place, and for people who don't understand Treblinka, Treblinka was a railway station. It looked like any railway station in Europe. People were brought there, and the whole point was subterfuge from beginning to end. It was subterfuge the moment they arrived there. The sick people were shown there was a tent in the corner which had a red cross marking on it, and they went in there, all the sick people, and they just bashed them to death inside this tent. And then all the healthy people. Nobody survived Treblinka. Everybody went straight into the gas chamber. They came off the train. Oh yes, just put your baggage here, no worries, everything will be all right. We are going to send you over there. You will go to another city, maybe Vienna, who knows. Just come here, you'll get cleaned up. So people, believed all of that, and then they went straight into a gas chamber and then cremated, and that was it. There's 900,000 people in the ground there.
How much is the Holocaust still a part of your life?
Well, it's like anybody, like everybody has their experience, People have parents, grandparents who were, survivors of Changi, or people, Serbian people or Croatian people who have their experiences, during the war. Everybody has their experience. For the Jewish people, the Holocaust was the Jewish experience of this, of my generation. I'm the generation after that event. So it informs every moment of my existence.